So Soundwave SG1 or Tony gave a shout out on his last video to, well, he asked the question, what is on our shopping list for this year's TFN? So I thought I'd do a really quick video. This might change between now and the 11th of August, but I thought I'd give you a quick rundown of what I'm thinking about getting. So let's start off with Generation 1 Transformers, and there's a list of ones I've been looking for a long time, and number one in that list is Swoop. Swoop has been my holy grail for so long, and if I could finally get a Swoop, I will be a very happy man. Also a Silver Streak, because I believe that he's the only Classics car, G1 car I haven't got. They're not all complete. They are missing a few little pieces, and some are a bit worn down. But you know what? Generation 1 toys are meant to look that way, in a way, if that makes sense. I'd sooner have a toy that I've played with, like my Wheeljack's pretty knackered, but he's the one I played with when I was a kid. So I'd sooner have him in my collection than a mint one, if that makes sense. But definitely a Silver Streak if I can get my hands on him. Omega Supreme. I would love an Omega Supreme if I could find one of those. Fort Max, I'm dreaming here, but if I could get a G1 Fort Max, I'd be a very happy man. Who else is there? A Bludgeon. Pretender Bludgeon would be quite nice if I find one of those for the right price. I think there was one last year there for about £110, which is maybe a stretch too now, especially if I'm stepping into Masterpiece and all that kind of stuff and third party. What else have we got? We've got a Hosehead. That would be nice to get one of those. A Horrible, if I could find one of those. Horrible, sorry. That would be pretty good. An Action Master Shockwave. It was on the Toy Foo store last year for about £5, and I left it, and I always wanted that figure. I have got a lot of Action Masters. I think I've got the majority of them, actually. But, yeah, I would absolutely love an Action Master Shockwave. That would be brilliant. So, that's it, really, for G1. There might be some other bits and dabs, but last count, I think I've got circa 75% of the original Transformers range up to Action Masters, I think. So I'm not a million miles away from completing that. Whether I will or not eventually is another thing, but it would be nice to think I could do that one day. So Masterpiece. So what are the masterpieces I'm considering picking up? Well, after the game I'm having with good old Stumpy Red Alert here, I still haven't got advice back from Kapow how to send him back, despite speaking to someone today. A little bit disappointing, considering I spent hundreds and hundreds of pounds on there in the past, but there you go. But I think an MP Grapple would be nice, or an MP Inferno. I'm not quite sold on them yet. I think it's a price point of over £100. I would like one of them. I would edge towards Grapple, because to me it looks more interesting, but then there's all these issues with the paint. So it's one of those ones where potentially if there's one there for the right price I might pick one up, but I don't really want to be spending plus £100 on one if I can help it. MP Megatron would be nice, but I'm also a bit of a realist. Chances are that A, there's not going to be many of them, if any at all, at TFN, and B, they're going to be just stupidly high priced, and there comes a point where maybe I'd stretch to that £150, £60 mark for him to have him there on the day. But in reality, I've got Mitron. He looks cool in my collection. I will get one day, but not when they're going for those prices. Who else is there then, MP wise? I think that's really it. I'm not going to get any of the MP Seeker cone heads. Maybe a Silver Streak, as it's the only car out of the car that I haven't really got that's G1 accurate, but we'll see. I've already got two of that mould, so there you go. So let's move on now to third party. I'm loving Tarn. So I picked up Tarn about 3-4 weeks ago now. Fantastic figure. Expensive, but a fantastic figure. And I would like, I'd like to have a little display of IDW, even though I haven't read them all yet. I like the look of the Rodimus figure. I just missed out on one of those. I should have pre-ordered it and I didn't, and I can't find one there. And is it Tyratron? I forget his name. The Megatron version that's coming out soon. That would be very nice if we could get one of those. I think in reality that will probably be a more likely purchase than MP36. But again, we'll see. So, Titan's Return, Triptychon, if I see him and he's the right price. Paid £130 for Fortress Maximus last year. Haven't really messed with him and played with him, but Triptychon does look a better figure. So I will be very, very interested in Triptychon. Very, very interested in the Misfire, is it Twin Twist and Windblade? I think it's Wave 5, is it? I haven't got a Sea Spray yet. I haven't got a Road Burn yet. So potentially some of those. I haven't got a what's it called? Blunderbuster's head. Broadside. Haven't got one of those. Haven't got a Six Shot. Haven't got an Overlord. Haven't got a Sky Shadow. So I'm not saying I'm going to pick them all those up because it would be silly. If I was to pick up one leader, probably Overlord if he's there. Simply because I've got the G1 dude down there who I love to bits. So yeah, possibly those. Movie figures, maybe. I know there's going to be a third wave. Well, the second wave hasn't hit really the UK with the Voyagers and the leader class figures yet, but the second and third wave are bound to hit soon because the tide of the movie will be over soon, won't it? So I'd expect some of those to be out. Bumblebee looks quite cool, the new mould of that. Even though I promised myself I wouldn't buy a Bumblebee again. Crosshairs potentially. I actually quite like the look and feel of some of these figures. Strafe as well. I love that mould. I only recently picked up Strafe, so it'd be nice to get him in a better colour than blue. I didn't really like the blue colour. So that's it for new movie figures. Something I've really got into lately is the older movie figures, and I think absolutely this year I'm going to be picking up a few of those. High up on my list is a Human Alliance Barricade. I've actually ordered, I stumbled across it last night on ID Toys, they've got the 10th anniversary Soundwave in, and it doesn't come with Laserbeak, but I've got the Laserbeak Dave gave me, so that'll do even though it's out of scale. So potentially, if I can get a Barricade, those two would look really, really good together. And I can maybe reenact that scene where Soundwave dies in Dark of the Moon and put it a display on there. I think that would be pretty good to look at. What else am I after? There are one or two movie bots. Another Human Alliance. I'd like a Sideswipe if I could find one. I have a Jazz, but he was missold to me, to say the least. He's pretty beaten up when I was told he was mint. So if I can find a Jazz for the right price and he's complete, then I'll probably stretch to that and then just sell this one on as a spares and repair one for a couple of quid. What else is there? I'd like a movie Ratchet. I think Wilderness has said he's got one. He said I could have it for a tenner, I think. So hopefully that'll be one of my earliest purchases. I think he, from his video earlier, I think he's going up to TFN. I think this Thursday or something. He's spending about 6 weeks up there. I think that at least it sounds that way from how much his bloody hotel room's going to be. Bloody hell. But yeah, so I'd like that one, and I think it would look good. I mentioned this in another video, to have one of these IKEA glass shelves I've got behind me with a scene from each movie. So I'd love the Autobots from the first movie. They're pretty iconic. Maybe the Decepticons below that. And then have a bit of a mixture of other characters. I think that would look pretty good. So what else? There are a few miscellaneous bots. Animated Rodimus. I've wanted one of those for a while. I'd love to stumble across one. So fingers crossed I'll find one of those. A G1, I've missed another. G1 Rewind would be nice. I haven't got that cassette. I've got Eject. I haven't got Rewind. Yeah, I think that's about it off the top of my head. I've noticed, and I read this really briefly, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Is the voice of Lockdown from the movie there? That'd be a quite cool signature to get. I don't know if I've got anything movie from Age of Extinction apart from the DVD, so it'd be nice to get something signed, but by him, being it was part of one of the biggest films, even if it is my least favourite out of all of them. I will try and get a couple of signatures. I want to get my last Stand of the Wreckers signed simply because I forgot to bloody take it with me last year, so I definitely will be doing that this year. And the rest of that, I think the rest of the stuff will be on my shopping list. Will be overpriced cider from the bar and the odd short. Maybe a cuddle from Dave Shotton if I'm lucky. But so I think that's it really. There's nothing really I've got my heart absolutely set on, which is good in a way, because then I won't be disappointed. There's a number of bots I would like to have in my collection, but I also know as soon as I walk in that dealer room, all bets are off. Unless you're stupidly organised and actually stick to a plan of attack to go around that dealer room and pick up the robots that you want in certain orders for the price that you're willing to pay. Let's face it, I reckon a good 99% of us will probably just go on impulse. And I do want to keep £50, £100 in my back pocket just purely for those things. But I think that's fun, and it is part of the day, the weekend even, just to buy robots that you never even thought you would buy or even want. I mean, last year I ended up with a full set of classic Seekers. Never even thought about buying them before, but I ended up with a full set of the bloody things now. So yeah, I think that's part of the excitement, isn't it? Sometimes it's good not to have everything in your plan. And that way it keeps the weekend fresh, and it keeps guessing. How boring would it be if we go there and we know now exactly what we're going to buy and that's all we get? One of the most exciting things about these events is this is unexpected, and when you walk around that dealer room you might find something that you never thought you'd get your hands on. So yeah, I've been Salt Rider. This has been my second TFN video.